Greetings, dear viewers. Peace be upon you. This is your host, Kaboyet, and this is my Kaboyet Construction Industry Forum on my YouTube channel, Kapihan kay Kaboyet. Once again, I welcome you to General Building Construction Project Inspectorate Orientation, and this is our episode 3 video entitled Common General Construction Project Control Procedure. Here in Chapter 6, I shall discuss using a flowchart the following control procedures. 1. The Site Observation Notice, SON for short, and the Non-Conformance Report, NCR for short. Disclaimer lang po, since this is my first published series of videos, I want to make clear that I do not claim that this series of videos I publish are in itself perfect. The content of this General Building Project Inspectorate orientation comes only from my 30 years of professional practice and the trainings I gained in the construction industry. On the other hand, however, I would gladly welcome any suggestions and or advices from those who have a good building project inspectorate experience or background, or from those who are more knowledgeable than I am in the field of general building project inspectorate that could contribute and further enrich the contents of my videos. After all, the main objective here is to fill the shortage of inspectorate requirement in the construction industry. Most of all, help our promising young professional engineers in their successful journey in the construction industry. And most of all, maintain the recognition and respect we, the OFW professionals, had obtained from our employer and our foreign national professional counterparts while performing our professional function working overseas. So now, let's start the orientation. Site Observation Notice, SON for short. When a consultant inspectorate engineer notice any installation work not complying either with project technical specifications, the general conditions of contract, the approved shop drawings, and or the approved material or equipment, the consultant inspectorate engineer should formally notify the contractor through a site observation notice, SON for short, following the control procedure process defined here and as follows. The consultant, step 1, the consultant inspectorate engineer prepare on project standard site observation notice form a brief description of the non-compliance on the contractor specific ongoing construction installation work activities or activities. Attached to this a mini plan highlighting the exact location of the described non-compliance and a digital photo of the exact location of the non-compliance. Then give it to the consultant resident construction managers who will then review and sign the SON. Then the consultant document controller will register the consultant inspectorate engineer SON in the project standard SON registry log and issue the SON to the contractor with copy furnished to the project architect engineer, the designer, and the QS consultant. The output document is an open SON with the attached mini plan and digital photo. Step 2, the contractor acknowledge receipt of SON, determine the cause of the non-compliance mentioned in the SOM by performing analysis of cause. Then, prepare a proposed corrective action to be undertaken and the preventive measures to avoid recurrence of same non-compliance in the future. And lastly, submit to the consultant for review and approval a proposed SON contractor's disposition. The output document of the contractor would be an SON proposed contractor disposition. Now, the consultant receive it, review and evaluate contractor's SON proposed contractor disposition that includes the analysis of cost, corrective action, preventive action, and then decide. If it is not acceptable, return the contractor's SON proposed contractor disposition with CSC comments, and the contractor correct, modify, or rectify his proposed contractor disposition in accordance or with reference to the consultant comments, and resubmit the SON proposed contractor disposition. On the other hand, if it is acceptable to owner, the contractor implements the proposed disposition, including the CSC comments. Contractor submit a formal inspection request to the consultant to close the SON. Then, the consultant conducts the inspection and sign off the inspection request and update the project SON log registry. The output document is a closed SON. Now, the consultant shall maintain an updated SON log registry and shall issue a weekly updated summary SON summary report to the project architect, engineer, the designer, the QS consultant, and the contractor, and it would be issued during the regular weekly construction meeting. The output would be a weekly updated SON summary report. Very important note. The contractor should take one first. The contractor should take the initiative of putting on hold the specific work activity described in the consultant issued SON until issue is officially resolved. Excuse me. To prevent further back jobs. Second, the contractor within 24 hours upon receipt of the formal SON submit an SOM proposed contractor disposition. And thirdly, it is in the consultant or the project architect, engineer, or the designer's discretion if any outstanding open SON will be converted into an NCR or a non-conformance report. At this note, the SON control process procedure is completed. Now, we go to our last control process, the non-conformance report. Let me give a brief. The non-conformance report are used and issued by the construction supervision consultant or the construction management consultant, the owner or the designer to concerned contractors who deviated a drawing plan and or a specification and or a relevant contract document of the construction project. A non-conformance report documents the details of a non-conformance identified by any concerned parties, like the owner, the project architect engineer, the designer, the quantity surveyor consultant, the construction management consultant or construction supervision consultant, or the local authorities having jurisdiction of the project. The objective of the report is to make an unambiguous, defensible, clear, and concise definition of the problem so that corrective action can and will be initiated by the contractor. The contractor ensure that the NCR is immediately closed after issuance. On the other hand, the project architect engineer and the construction management consultant or the construction supervision consultant should closely monitor and make the necessary required follow-up with the contractor for the immediate closure of any NCR. Hereunder is a control procedure process for non-conformance report. Let's start. Step 1. Consultant Inspectorate Engineer prepare a brief description of the contractor relevant contract document non-compliance on a project standard non-conformance report form and attach with it a mini plan highlighting the specific location of the non-compliance and a copy of a non-compliance digital photo. The consultant resident construction manager will have to first review and then approve this NCR. The consultant document controller, upon approval of the resident construction manager, register the NCR to the standard project NCR log registry and then formally transmit the NCR plus all attachment to the contractor and copy furnish the owner, the project architect engineer, the responsible designer, and the QS consultant. The output document is an open NCR with necessary attached document. The contractor acknowledges receipt of the non-conformance report, determines the cause of non-compliance mentioned in an NCR by performing an analysis of cause. Then prepare a proposed corrective action to be undertaken and the preventive measures to avoid recurrence of same non-compliance in the future. And lastly, submits to the consultant for review and approval a proposed NCR contractor's disposition. The output document from the contractor is an NCR proposed contractor disposition. The consultant then review and evaluate the contractor submitted contractor's NCR disposition. And then the consultant call a meeting to discuss and decide the contractor submitted NCR contractor's disposition. And this meeting will be attended by the project team, the owner, the project architect designer, the consultant, the designer, the QS consultant, and the concerned contractor. And the output of this meeting, the output document of this meeting is a minutes of meeting. The consultant then prepare a disposition as agreed during the meeting. This is so-called owner's disposition. If rejected, the consultant returns submitted contractor disposition to contractor to make the necessary correction or modification as agreed on the meeting and resubmit the proposed contractor disposition for approval. On the other hand, if accepted, the contractor implements the proposed contractor disposition and submit formal inspection request to the consultant to close the NCR. Or if this disposition is accepted by owner concession, the same thing, the contractor implements correction action as agreed with the owner concession meeting and submit formal inspection request to the consultant to close the NCR. The consultant then conducts the inspection and records the result on the IR form and distribute the form to consultant the form to the contractor and a copy to the project architect engineer. The output is an IR with the corresponding action code. If inspection is rejected, the contractor shall correct the installation per comments of the consultant and submit request or to submit a request for reinspection. On the other hand, if approved, contractor shall proceed with the work until the next hold point. The output is a signed IR form with an action code approved, and this closes the NCR. On the other hand, the contractor and the consultant shall maintain an updated project NCR log registry. Updated NCR log registry. The consultant shall issue a weekly updated summary of NCR to owner, architect, engineer, designer, QS, consultant, and the contractor during the weekly meeting. The output is a weekly updated NCR summary report. Note, no installation with an open NCR shall be paid by the owner until open NCR is officially closed. But however, the project architect or the owner has the final decision whether any installation with an open NCR can be paid or not. Second, the contractor project contract retention payment shall not be released to the contractor until all outstanding open NCR are officially closed. But again, you have to remember that the project architect, engineer, or the owner has the final decision whether the payment can be released or not. Caution to all inspectorate engineer. Make sure that you fully understand the provisions of the signed contractor's contract agreement documents, including all the contract documents, attachments. With regards to the contract retention, before making any action with regards to contractors' non-compliance reports. This note, now this concludes the NCR control procedure process. And likewise, this concludes episode 3, chapter 6, the last chapter of Common General Construction Project Control Procedures. Once again, I want to make clear that I do not claim that this series of videos I published are in itself perfect. The content of this General Building Project Inspectorate orientation comes only from my 30 years of professional practice and the training I gained in the construction industry. On the other hand, however, I welcome any suggestions and or advices from those who have good building project understandings and experience, or from those who are more knowledgeable than I am in the field of general building project inspectorate that could contribute to further enrich the contents of these videos. After all, the main intention of this series of videos on general building project inspectorate orientation is just to provide a basic orientation on general building project inspectorate to all new engineers who are aspiring to join the booming construction industry for the first time. I am hoping that the contents of these videos, episode 1 to 4, if totally viewed by the subscribers, can at least contribute somehow to our new aspiring architect engineer to be recruited or employed by prospective prestigious contracting and or consulting firm here in the Philippines and or overseas. Now before I sign off, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel and you want to support me in my advocacy in assisting new engineers in their successful journey in the construction industry, please click that red subscription button and likewise hit that notification bell so you can be notified of my next and succeeding videos. Also, click the like button and then share this video to other new engineers, especially your friends, so they too can possibly benefit from this orientation video. Thank you and God bless you. Oh, I almost forgot. If you have any comments and or suggestions, feel free to write them on the comment section below so I can read them and respond to you on my next videos. Once again, I hope that this Project Inspectorate orientation provides you an understanding of General Building Inspectorate that can boost your confidence, especially during your actual job interview to convince your interviewer to hire you for the job. Until then, this is your host, Kaboyat, on Kaboyat Construction Industry Forum on my YouTube channel, Kapihan kay Kaboyat, saying, God bless us all and may God protect us all always. This is your Kaboyat, now signing off.